Your fear of expressing your desires is the root cause of your loneliness. It's kind of a deep topic here. I will give you like a framework for how to approach a girl later on in this video, but I want to talk about really the root cause of all of this, of all of your problems when it comes to dating. And really, like, this might apply to other areas of your life. I want you to think about this. Recently, I was thinking about my high school experience. Let's say I had like 5 or 6 friends or something that were like close. I had a few friends that had girlfriends and, they had hooked up with girls and they, been in multiple relationships already. And, this was like 16, 17 years old. But I had never even like kissed a girl at that point in my life. And I would like see these guys, like my friends that were already like in relationships and, they would, be hooking up, they would be having like consistent sex and all that stuff. And I just felt so behind. I felt so beneath them, honestly. Like status wise, I was just like, there's something that these guys have just figured out. Like they know something that I don't. I was thinking about like, what is it exactly that like those guys like figured out at a young age that I didn't know how to do? Because I've become more experienced with women in the last few years. I've approached tons of women. I want to try to distill it for you in this video. I'm going to try to distill it. Like, what is it, right? Try to do the quotes. What is it? Figuring it out. What did those guys figure out at a young age? And what have I figured out now where I'm comfortable with women? I could just like walk up to them. You could literally place me in any city in the world and within a few weeks I'll, have a pretty decent dating life. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just like literally saying like I used to not be this way and then now I am this way. And it's like, what did I figure out? Really the only difference between a guy who doesn't get girls and a guy who does get girls, it all starts with this. It all starts with, are you comfortable expressing your desires? The guys that are comfortable with women and, they get girls, they have like a fun dating life, they just feel comfortable with what they desire. They're comfortable with their feelings. You know what I mean? And then they express those feelings. And whether or not they get rejected or, they get accepted by the girl, they don't really care too much. They just express their feeling, which is sort of like the bare minimum for taking it to that next level with a girl. This all comes down to you just like being able to express your desires. So now when I approach girls, I don't try to like be this like perfectionist, like social perfectionist, or like I'm not like pre-planning conversations or anything. I literally just walk up to a girl and just say like, hey, I thought you were really cute. I wanted to say what's up.
Excuse me. How's it going, guys? What's up? I just noticed you guys across the street. I thought you were really cute. Y'all both look lovely, but yeah, I thought you were really cute. Wanted to say hi. Yeah. What's up?
What's your name?
Jacob.
And I just like make eye contact with her. And I'm actually going to give you a step-by-step process right now on how to approach a woman and just be comfortable expressing your desires as a man, because that's all ultimately what all of this comes down to, is you feeling something and then just expressing that feeling rather than, bottling it up, which is kind of what you've been doing all your life, I think. You've just been kind of bottling up these feelings of desire and feeling like you're like not worthy of women. And the thing is too, is that like, if you express your desires as a man, you will get rejected a decent amount of the time. So that's the part that hurts, is that like, at a young age, maybe you kind of got hurt, like expressing your desires, and you sort of got closed off, from doing that. Like you did it, a girl didn't like you, and you sort of got offended by that and hurt, and you're like, fuck it, I'm never gonna like do that type of thing again. Or if I do, it has to be like really perfect. It has to be really calculated. I'm going to be honest, man. Success with women is not this like perfect thing. It's literally just like talking to a lot of women and seeing what sticks. Just seeing what girls you connect with more than others. Okay, that's what all of this comes down to. Like a guy who gets a lot of girls or has a fun dating life or even has like the perfect dream relationship, it's not because he's like this like social like sniper who just said the perfect thing at the perfect time, It's because he approached a lot of women, he dated a lot of women, and then he basically narrowed in on like the girl that he found the most interesting and developed a relationship with her. So it's not like this like perfect thing. It's really just like a lot of experiences, and then you just like That's really it. It's just approaching a lot of women. Right now, I'm going to give you a step-by-step framework on how you could express your desires and approach a girl and basically take it to that next level where it's like, okay, like if you see a girl on the sidewalk, how could you take it to that next level and potentially get her number and potentially set up a date with her? So step one, imagine you're on the sidewalk and you see a really cute girl. This probably happens to you maybe even on a daily basis, okay? You see a really, really cute girl. You get nervous, right? You feel a bit nervous because this is something that you now want to be doing in your life. Before, maybe a few years ago, this was not something that you considered was possible, like actually walking up to this girl. But now it is. And now you kind of have to be a little bit hard on yourself, right? The pressure's on. It's like, are you actually going to take that leap as a man and go for what you want and actually express your desires and be comfortable expressing your desires? So you see this girl and you get nervous because you're like, oh, fuck, right? This is it, right? Like it's this opportunity. These are the opportunities that I need to be, taking advantage of. You're going to feel nervous. And what I want you to do, and this is step one, is just embrace that nervous energy. Don't try to push it down. Don't feel weird about feeling nervous. The successful guys, they're not afraid of their feelings. So if you see a cute girl and you feel nervous, don't feel weird about that, okay? It's okay to be nervous. It's healthy to be nervous, okay? That means your fucking body is working properly, all right? So just take a deep breath when you see her and just remind yourself that, okay, it's okay to be nervous. I'm normal. This is fine. And just validate yourself, okay? It's like giving yourself like a hug, You're like, okay, it's fine, dude. Don't worry about it. So again, I just want to let you know that the whole point of this isn't to be like super alpha on yourself and be like, fuck you, like, why do you feel nervous? Like, that's not normal. Like, you shouldn't feel nervous. No, feel nervous, embrace that feeling, and move on to step two, which is try to walk up to her as quick as possible. I don't mean like run up to her. I just mean like if you see her, don't wait forever and like start overthinking things to like, oh, like, what am I going to say or whatever. Literally, like, okay, you see her, you feel nervous, you accept that you feel nervous, you embrace that energy, and then you just start walking up to her, okay? That's it. You start walking up to her. Step number 3 is you want to just say hi to her. Truly, just say hi to her and give her context about why you're talking to her, which is that you think she's cute. So what I always do, and I'm not trying to be fancy with this, literally just be honest, be authentic, be vulnerable, right? Express your desire. Just look her in the eyes and say, hey, I thought you were really cute. I wanted to come say hi.
Hi, this is random. I was just walking by. I'm about to meet a friend, but you look very cute. I wanted to say what's up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will say, so this is kind of step 3, but like, B, you want to make sure that you're making really strong eye contact with her, okay? Make eye contact, smile, breathe deeply, you know what I mean? Try to feel the weight of your body just in your feet, as it's touching the sidewalk or wherever you are. Try to feel grounded, okay? It's somewhat easier said than done, but it's going to happen over time. Like as you do this more and more, you're going to start feeling more and more grounded in these situations. The key to this is just to feel relaxed and show the girl basically that you're relaxed in these situations, that this doesn't really faze you. That's incredibly attractive to women, man. If you walk up to a girl and you're talking to her just super casually, you're making eye contact with her, you're smiling, like a light, like gentle smile, you know what I mean? Like kind of this like, I don't know, this like charming, natural smile. You will smile in these situations, man. Like sometimes you might feel really nervous and it gets the best of you and you kind of stutter and you're like incapable of like feeling like happy. And those situations do happen. They've happened to me as well. But there's going to be a lot of situations as well when you do this consistently where you will actually feel relaxed. And you're going to feel proud of yourself that you're even like doing this in the first place. And you're going to be like standing there wherever you are, looking into this girl's eyes. And honestly, man, like eye contact is the most important thing in all of this, because if you can't make eye contact with a girl, that's automatically like you're kind of writing yourself off, If you're not able to actually look her in the eyes and you're kind of like looking around and you're like having a conversation with her, but you're sort of like, yeah, like what's up, like, hey, I thought you were cute, like you're kind of being weird about it. A girl won't be attracted to that, okay? And it's not because you're like this like complete loser or anything. It's just because, like you want to actually be able to look somebody in the eyes. And that's kind of like honestly, like as far as like body language and all that stuff, most of it is bullshit. But one of the really important things is just eye contact, just simply just eye contact and, breathing deeply, having a nice smile and stuff like that. It's something that I want you to keep in mind, okay? Step number 4 is just having chill small talk, okay? So most of my conversations with women when I approach them literally last like 1 to 3 minutes maybe, okay? And there's not really much you could talk about in 1 to 3 minutes. You don't have to have these crazy conversations. It's really just about you establishing yourself as a guy who's confident and relaxed and kind of ballsy and brave. And again, you're showing her that you're comfortable expressing your desires, which is very attractive to women. Most women are craving being approached respectfully. And in general, like, I feel like just as people, we become less social and less spontaneous in this way. And that's what this channel is all about. That's also what my private community, Natural Confidence Lab, is all about. It's all about helping men just like delete dating apps that aren't working for you and just transition to actually approaching women in real life. I have like 5+ hours of really like step-by-step detailed, easy to follow content on how you could actually start doing this in real life. And you could also talk to me directly and ask me any follow-up questions that you have. So definitely check that out. The link is down below. But again, women are craving this, dude. Women are craving being approached by a guy who's just like confident and can look them in the eyes, could smile, just having a very gentle, chill conversation with them. It's really not that deep. You don't have to be this like seduction artist. I look at this like this subreddit r/seduction sometimes, and people overcomplicate it, man. People really overcomplicate it, and you'll get these guys that are like talking about theory. There's no theory to this, dude. There's really no theory. I promise you. It's funny because I used to be one of those guys. I used to be a guy who, I wanted to gather all the information possible, in doing this, for years now, and I'm now teaching guys how to do it themselves. I've realized, bro, that there's no theory to this. It's just chaos. It's just beautiful, spontaneous chaos. And you just walk up to a girl and you say, hey, I thought you were really cute. I wanted to come say hi. She might be, in a relationship already. She might, not be a girl who's even into you, like from the very beginning. Like, you might not even have a connection with her from the start. There's plenty of girls that I approach now that like I don't even have the same values as them, dude. Like, I'm not a guy who goes out clubbing and, vapes and all this shit. Like, I don't do that. I like working out. I like reading. I like going on long walks and just like getting sunlight and all that stuff. That's who I am now. And if I were to approach a girl and get to know her and she like does none of those things, like she just like spends, all day on her phone, like on TikTok or something, I probably wouldn't even ask her out on a date, or there wouldn't even be a connection there in the first place. So there's so many women out there that you're going to walk up to that you won't even have a connection with, but you're also going to get to know girls that you do have a natural connection with. And it's all about just like approaching a lot of women and giving yourself that opportunity, letting the world know that you exist and participating in the world, kind of participating, expressing your desires, not letting your voice be suppressed anymore. That's really what all this comes down to, dude. And all those guys from high school, I was thinking about all this, man. All those guys that I knew in high school who were good with girls, and not necessarily good with girls, but they just had girlfriends or something. It all came down to them just being comfortable expressing their desires and letting the world know that, hey, like, I want this, they went for it. So that's what really all this comes down to, dude. And then step number 5 is just getting her number. What I always do is I always just offer like a coffee date. I say like, I'd love to grab coffee with you sometime. I've never actually been on a coffee date, side note, but every time I get a girl's number, I usually offer a coffee date just because it feels more like natural in that context to say that. And usually when I'm approaching girls, it's like, 2 p.m., 3 p.m., whatever. I always just propose a date. I don't just say like, hey, can I have your number at the end of the conversation? I always propose a date and just see how she responds to that. So I'm always like, I'd love to grab a coffee. I'd love to grab your number, grab a coffee sometime. Just kind of like throw in that like date idea and see how she responds. And if she's like, yeah, totally, then that's obviously a good sign. And you can just like whip out your phone and grab her number. Okay. So something like, hey, I'd love to, I got to head out, but I'd love to grab a coffee sometime and just see how she responds. I'd love to grab drinks sometime, just something like that, right? Just like propose a date. I have more content actually in my private community, Natural Confidence Lab, about what you do after you get her number. So how you text her, how you set up a date, how to actually go on like a really fun date. I have like more content about that in there. So if you're interested in that, I'm actually doing a free trial right now. So definitely go check that out down below. And that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you next time.